Most people keep their car for several years, and as the old cliche goes, it is likely to be the second biggest purchase you ever make. So it's crucially important to make the most of the time that you get with the car before you hand over any cash. This is our 10-point guide to taking the perfect test drive. If you've done your research on whatcar.com beforehand, then you should have a good idea of the model of car that you're after. And there's not much point if you're after a petrol in test driving a diesel, so ask the dealership for one that is as close as possible to the one that you want. If they don't have an exact match, then prioritise the engine and the gearbox. You can always play around with the trim and the specification later in the dealership. If you're concentrating on where you're going, then you're not concentrating on what the car is like to drive, so try and take the test drive on roads that you're familiar with. Equally, try and go on roads that reflect what you normally do. If you spend a lot of time on motorways, then try and take that in on the test drive. Also, if you live nearby, then it's worth testing out your driveway or even your garage for size as well. If you can get out in the car on your own, that's fantastic, but the chances are you're going to have a salesman there who's going to be chatting to you and not letting you concentrate on what the car is like. So if you can bring a friend along to distract them, then you can concentrate on the car and they will be able to tell you what it's like from the passenger seat. Performance isn't always about blasting from 0 to 60 as quickly as possible. In a small city car, you're looking for a certain amount of nippiness so you can dart around town quickly, and in a family car, you're looking for flexibility from the engine so you don't end up changing gear the whole time. When it comes to ride and handling, you're trying to get a blend of comfort and control, so look for a variety of different roads, and if you can, hunt out some potholes and speed bumps around town, as they can be particularly revealing. Listen to the general levels of noise while you're driving and pay attention to the smoothness of all of the mechanical bits. A modern car, for example, should be able to pull away smoothly and change gear without jerking. Listen to the radio by all means, but once you've done so, turn it off and then pay attention to all the noise from the engine, road and wind, and decide how much all of those bother you. Posh materials like leather and wood on the dash look fantastic, but synthetic ones like plastic will do the job just as well. But however much the car that you're looking at costs to buy, make sure it is up to the job of what you and your family are likely to throw at it. Cream seats might look great, but they're not going to look so good after your kids have covered them in ketchup. Checking how well you fit behind the wheel is something you can do back at the showroom. Check how supportive and comfy the seats are and make sure everything lines up well with the pedals and the steering wheel so you don't end up with backache. Also, check the visibility. How easy is it to see the dials and how easy is it to park? You might not need those expensive parking sensors after all. If you have any big bulky items that you need to carry around in the car regularly, then definitely take them with you. Check not only that they go in the first place, but also that you can do so easily. Also, take a look around the cabin and see how many cubby holes there are. Not having anywhere to stash your coins or phone will get annoying very quickly. It's important to be realistic with equipment. Don't expect high levels of kit on a cheaper car, but make sure you aren't missing out by doing your research and comparing like for like. If all that seems a lot to remember, then we've put together a handy checklist for you to take along with you. Head to whatcar.com/car-advice for more information.